Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chris, and this is my channel, Chris P44S, where we play games. And today I'm going to be playing Grim Tranquility. This just recently came out in early access, and it's like a sci-fi. They call it a roguelite, but I don't know why it's a roguelite. I don't know how you're failing forward yet, or have seen to realize that, but it is early access. With roguelike aspects, with procedurally generated turn-based combat and exploration. It's actually, this is like a perfect game that was released, like the perfect situation where a game was released into early access, and it's like it has a ton of potential, but it's definitely like on the teeter-tottering, because there's, not gonna lie, there's definitely some issues with the game, but overall I think it has a really, really great foundation. Ultimately, I think this is my big takeaway, but I'm just gonna jump in and show you what the game's all about. So I have done a couple runs already, and so we're gonna do new run and then begin your new run with a fresh batch of heroes, seed 39 or 379814587. So I'm assuming this is basically like the seed is just basically a complete random generator where that develops like the maps for you, the run you're gonna take, the characters that you see, um, or like the heroes, I guess, that you meet. So keep in mind this is a sci-fi roguelike game with, and this is the this is, yeah, this is how like the cutscenes are kind of like this comic book, and this is definitely probably one of the best ones, is the initial one. But for like the sanctity of time, I'm not actually gonna show you the whole thing. But maybe I'll just show you up to a little bit because it is really good. No, I'm not gonna watch it. Basically what happens is the humans destroy Earth with technology and artificial intelligence, and so basically humans have to go out and search of new planets and worlds to harvest resources. Basically, a tale as old as time. Um, and basically what happens, because I'm not going to watch any of the cutscenes, is basically you run into other alien races and factions, and you kind of, you don't decide, like, basically you run into other alien races, and you don't just right off the bat decide to start killing each other. And so there actually is like some there is a point in the game right now where you make a decision to either go left or right. I don't want to exactly say, because I don't even think I'm going to get that far. It does take a little while. So this is kind of like a cool thing when you start a new world. You basically get to spin this wheel, and it either gives you, but like, it basically makes the game easier or more difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and spin. Most of the stuff is pretty general, like RPGs type stuff. So it says combatant damage is increased by 25%. Sale items at the shop. Oh, so we're just gonna see what we get. Combatants have their speed increased by 50%. Okay. What's nice is whenever you get a red, it replaces it with a green. So heroes earn 1.5 times XP, which is good. It's definitely really nice. Because I don't know how high you can actually get. I guess you would need that. I don't know how high of a level you can actually get your characters. I think I only got mine to like 3 or 4 before the end of early access. The early access portion. Which is something to know too before you go ahead and spend money on the game. Eagle Eye ranged attacks have increased. Have their maximum range increased by 3. Seems good. So basically, we're gonna run the game with these effects applied, and then we're gonna go into the character screen. So here's where things start to get weird. Not that there's anything wrong. Like, I think the character designs are decent. I wish these models. So there's actually like a video. There's actually a video on the store. I'm just gonna show you this real quick. There's actually a video on the store. So the other thing to note too, this is $14.99. And like I was saying, like this is the perfect example of a game that's in early access. Oh, there's a picture of me from a little while ago. This is a perfect example of a game in early access where they're at that teeter-tottering point, and it's got to be kind of at the point where they need money. You know, they need more money, so that's why they've pushed out into early access. Is it ready for early access? I don't think so, in my personal opinion. But here's what I wanted to show you. There's a nice video down here, and it's probably very hard to see, but you can see here that the players are actually holding the weapons. My first big gripe, and like obvious, is these characters aren't even holding these weapons. Like, none of them are, and they don't in the game. And this is my favorite one. Like, even the swords, like, they're like kind of close. Like, you can just forget about it, you know. The character with the fly swatter, you could just kind of forget about it. But this character is called a breaker, and it's basically like a strength-based melee tank, but it wears gloves. So like, if you can kind of see, the glove is actually on like perpendicular to the player's hand. So it's like, I don't know. I think this has to be included in like the first patch or update that you do to the game, is you need to fix these models with weapons. Like, they need to be fixed, you know, because this just like breaks you away before you even start playing the game. But with that being said, so that's a deal. So basically how I go, I mean, it does other thing nice where it has these like tool tips or whatever, where you have your strength, which is melee, agility, accuracy and ranged weapons. But even here, where it says primary driver for weapon accuracy and ranged weapons, is, I'm assuming what it says, a lot of these get cut off. And even when you're in combat, you can tooltip over these, but they get cut off by other graphics inside the game. But basically, artisan, you basically, artisan tints is kind of like your magic. It's kind of like magic damage, or your like tech damage. Like, there's a lot of, let me see, so like your medics, you have these nano meds, and they heal based on your artisan tints. Artisan tints. I don't know how you really spell that. I don't think I've ever read this word before, but sorry for butchering it. But so basically, damage is based on that artisan node. Same thing here with like this Vendom delivery. This class is kind of, the Oracle is kind of like a tech kind of person, where, you know, it kind of has like this missile strike. It's not a missile strike. It's some kind of like satellite mystery. So there's like packages flying around somewhere in space, I guess, and like this character can just have these packages drop on things. So it says hacks into Vendom Industry satellite to misdirect a package with malicious intent directly to a target's position, damage base on artisan node. I'm just going to call it artisan node, and 10 hex range. So yeah, basically just dropping packages out of the orbit on people. And then, you know, but a lot of these are basically the damage is based on this node here. Intellect, primary driver for CP generation. So each character they don't have like magic points. They have CP, which is, honestly, I don't even know. This is the one thing I was wondering about too. Maybe it's compassion points. That must be what it is. But basically every turn, I was like trying to figure out what the hell compassion was for a long time, but it's probably CP. It's your compassion points, unless I. So basically, every turn your character will regenerate CP, and then they obviously use CP to cast the different skills that they have. Initiative decides the turn order of units, like kind of like your speed, your speed of attacking. Your regular speed is how far you can move. It says how far a unit can move during their movement. The number of hexes. I don't understand how this isn't the same thing. Decides how far. Oh, so movement must be just correlated to speed, and it's saying that because I have 58. Yeah, so it must be like every 10. Your movement. I don't think you can actually upgrade movement when you go up levels. So I'm pretty sure you should upgrade speed, and then speed is how many hexes they actually move. So like some pretty general like stats or attributes for your character. So basically like kind of what I've been doing with the game is, as far as picking characters, these are the only 3 classes that I've seen, is the Breaker, the Artisan, and the Oracle. So these are, and like I said, the Breaker's melee, the Oracle is kind of like tech based, and I kind of use it a little more for range, but typically in general the melee attacks are always stronger than your ranged, and every character carries a melee weapon and a ranged weapon. So yeah, you have the Artisan, the Oracle, and the Breaker. Basically melee damage, tech things, and also buff. The Oracle is a big like buff character, and then the Artisan is a healer. Well, I'll just jump into the customization real quick. Basically, you have 2 body types. It looks like female and male. My only gripe is that I feel like a lot of these faces kind of look feminine to me. I mean, not a lot of them, but you know, definitely some of them. And I feel like the hairstyles, I don't know. I feel like they're all like women hairstyles. They like all could be. You know what I mean? But even this, like this, I don't know. Like a lot of them just remind me of a lot of I think like they have a male body type, but then they'll have like a female face. You know, like I feel like if you have a one body type, I feel like the female body type can fit onto like any fit. I don't know. Like maybe it's just me. But we're gonna leave Brian as a type 2. I'm just gonna call it a type 2 body type. Continue. And then I'm gonna recruit Brian. I'm just gonna recruit him like that. I'm gonna do 2 medics. I will take out. Yeah, I'll take Alfred. Speed is usually like one that I don't care too much about. I've never sat and counted up the actual points, but I assume that they're just a random, like, let's say out of 200 or something. So I'll recruit Alfred, and then I'm just going to take these 2. I'm going to take Aaron and Adrene. Like I said, I don't think the stats are that crucial, but one thing you definitely want in the game is you want 2 of the artisans, I think, if you want to make it through the actual runs, because you like the way the healing works is there's no like max number of times you can heal. You can just always heal if you have your compassion points. I'm assuming CP is compassion points, so that's what I'm going to call it. And if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comment section below. Another thing too, so like here's your run, here's your route that you're gonna take, and I'm not gonna like, I guess spoilers alert, I don't know. This is early access. You can only make it to this node, and you can only go that far. There are other worlds when you start. I don't think they're gonna show that to us, but when you first start the game, they talk about like what world you're at, and it's called like Wolf's Den, or the Wolf's Den or something is what they call it. But basically, this is something similar to like Slay the Spire setup, where you have your route you can pick, and then depending on what node you go to, you know, whatever node you go to dictates what kind of things you're doing. So there's an extermination mission, pretty generic. You just kill whatever they say. And then these are like, there's a chest here for winning, I think. And then these are like the yellow ones, I think are the well, we'll see. I forget. There's like trivial, you get like these little like side trivial missions where it's like, oh, you can only don't use more than 10 healing skills. But we'll just jump right into a mission so you can check it out. I am definitely going to kind of burn through this, but I think you're definitely going to see things where the game falls apart. But I think, like I said, I think overall the foundation is really good. I think it just needs more. Things need to be fixed first, and then it needs just more. You know, more classes, more potentially more items. You know, I'd like to see it be furthered. I don't want to get into what I think too much right now. But later, as you go, even in the early access game, you can get different pieces of armor and different weapons, and the weapons do change how you look, and the armor will change how you look. Here's the abilities. You do unlock more abilities as you level up, but I mean, obviously for the first mission you can't really do anything in here, so we're just going to deploy and go into another cutscene. Emma Turner here in this cutscene, Emma Turner and Melva Clark are kind of like the main canon characters to the story as far as I've been so far. But basically, like I said, you're harvesting for resources, and you can watch these. They're actually pretty interesting. I think for like the sake of the video, you don't need to, and it's something that you can enjoy by yourself and get into. Because for this part, I think I'm looking more. I do like the story, but we're looking more at, you know, like gameplay and, you know, different aspects of the game. So mission instructions: exterminate a set number of enemies. To complete this mission, use the WASD keys to move the camera, Q and E to rotate. So, and I'm just going to throw down a couple things right here. I think I like how you can zoom out and you can zoom in so far. I think that's like really, really nice. It doesn't bother me that some of these characters are like sunken in a little bit, because here and at different parts you don't really realize it. Another thing though, like I think the color palette of the game is really, really nice. I think the music for the game is really, really nice. I think it falls off a little bit in combat with sound effects, especially for melee. Like there's no crunching or slashing. Their guns, I mean, have sound effects, but you'll see, like, you know, objects hitting other objects don't really feel too great. But like I said, I think like the color and like even the models for the alien types and things are, I think they're really good. I mean, look at the squishy right here. You know, it looks good. Even this Armageddon. They look good. I don't know, like the colors look good. I really, you know, I like the different nodes. You know, like the separation and nodes that you can, or hexes that you can go on. So basically, though, when you like, if you move up onto these red hexes, you're gonna aggro the enemy. So the best thing to do when you're fighting in this, one thing I want to talk about before, they said Q and E rotates the screen. Here is your rotation. It just jumps degrees. I think there's a total of 5 degrees, or 5 different viewpoints. 4, 5, 1. Yeah, and so it doesn't bother me too much, but it's very abrupt. Like, I'd rather have just a fluid camera turn. And it's not like the characters aren't modeled. Like, the characters are modeled from all the angles. As you can see, they all have like a 3D spin display in the other interfaces, like when you're in the deployment phase and everything. So it's not like it just isn't there. And that's kind of like a big thing, is there's a lot of optimization that needs to go into this game. But let's just jump into it. Your characters are like super weak when you first start. But I'm definitely gonna, as far as combat goes, you've completed, here's an opportunity. The bounty says travel. Alright, so all my bounties are still... Oh, all my bounties are still... So basically later in the game, when you get to an actual settlement, you can pick up like side quests that are just kind of like, they're just tracked. So here's my oracle, and so like when I'm baiting, I basically just go ahead, and the Vendom delivery has a really high range, so I usually use that, and then just to kind of get aggro to one group. But I usually will try to only kill 1 or 2 aliens at a time. You don't really want to get like mixed up too much. And I'm just gonna jump around here, and like a lot of like the tactics-based games, like there's engagement, but there's no engagement here. Like anybody can break away from an enemy or character like anytime. But you see, so I was swinging there. I didn't even really think about it too much. I just kind of like, just kind of went for it. So now I'm just gonna line up my people over here, and we're gonna fight the next. It is a little bit grindy, but as soon as you start to usually the squishy aliens don't attack either, but once you start to level up and get like more weapons, you see like that, like there's no bang out of the gun for the gunpowder. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more right now. But as soon as you start like ranking up and unlocking new weapons, as soon as you get to your first settlement, it gets a lot better. Like the first 2 nodes are pretty trashy. So yeah, we'll just move Aaron up here, and then I'm just gonna take this fiberglass bayonet. All the weapons are pretty messed up at the beginning too. Like I have a water pistol. I don't know how much damage that would really do. Melts with too much use. So yeah, so like we're just gonna use the melee here. I just rotated my screen and got completely lost. But it's like, I don't know, I mean it's not bad, but there's no sound effect to the sword. The only sound effect was the alien itself taking damage. And like every ranged attack looks exactly the same, where it's like that yellow. See, like, so that guy had a water pistol, and I'm gonna use the JPEG, just plain awful gun. Still, it's a gun. But like the animation and stuff is exactly the same. But there's no pow, like there's no gunshot, there's no nothing. It's just the sound of people taking damage, you know. And like it needs to have a little bit more like meat. I'm just gonna go ahead and heal over here, because you do want to keep your people healed up, because if they die, they're done. They just sink the same way the aliens just sink into the ground when they die. Your characters will just sink into the ground too. So we're just gonna finish this guy off. Here you can see the aliens sink into the ground a little bit up there. And I'll probably just go to finish. I'll use the static skill. But you can see like my CP up here. It's pretty high, and I've been using some of the skills. But it just regenerates every turn. Which is actually pretty nice. I'll use the Vendom delivery. Boom. It'd be nice if Vendom delivery had a little bit more AoE splashiness going on. I'm also going to take this time when I'm not in combat to heal. And like I said, you can heal as much as you want. I need to kill like 3 more. I wonder if I kill this squishy, will it count as one? There is something with the squishy, and I kind of forget, but there's something where like you can take squishies as pets. I don't think that counted. Like you can bring squishies with you or something. Squishies are just that one, these types of aliens. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come over here and just aggro these two. This guy, this Malaget, and the other one. I mean, all my characters are pretty much healed up, so it's just a big thing. Like, it's really easy to heal in this, so you might as well just heal. Like, I don't think we're gonna die at all, but we could. Just gonna run up in here and toss this gunpowder bladder. Yeah, see, like it would be nice if like the breaker obviously uses like throwables. Like it'd be nice if he just threw the thing. Like it made an animation of just throwing like the grenade or anything. Like they could all look the same. Like that wouldn't bother me. It's just have more than one animation for all the ranged attacks, you know. But like those skills, like the skills have a lot of cool. So here's like the UAV drone too. I think it's pretty decent. You'd like throw the UAV. he just didn't do anything. You basically throw the drone out, and then the drone will deal damage. It'll do like 5 or 6 attacks and then leave. So the other thing is every time you finish a mission, there's supposed to be a chest somewhere. So the chest is back here, and the chest will like obviously have items in it. So I'm gonna try to come over here and snatch the chest without starting a battle. But I'm pretty sure even... Oh, this thing attacked the squishy. I'm assuming we get EXP for that. Let's see. Let's see if we get EXP for killing squishies. Can I click on this? So chest contains 110 credits, 60 EXP for all heroes. And there was like one. There was definitely something. So we'll try to jump in the portal. Yeah, so we're good. Yeah, you could probably kill like all the enemies up there, and you probably could get a lot of EXP that way and see how many levels you could go up. So here's our kills. Brian, our breaker, got 4 kills. Aaron got a kill, and Adrian got a kill. Don't really know if like having more kills or not really matters. So Brian went up to level 2, but we can't level him up until we get to one of the settlements. Debriefing provides a breakdown of the previous level, stats overview of hero's progression. You know, but here's like a nice little cool like illustrated piece right there too. Yeah, so it's kind of neat that killed 1 squishy. Yeah, so basically like the quests, the side quests you pick up are just like tracker quests. You know. So it says scouts have reported. So I think these are just trivial. These icons are just different trivial. So it says trivial. Do not let any of your heroes die. Do not use more than 10 healing abilities. I'm probably just I'll do the hunt because it's just different. Because I think I might do this and then one more. But just for time, for the reasons of time. So we did unlock something. So every weapon is tied to a class. Like you see, these heavy bandages is only usable by Breaker. Same thing with like the JPEG. Oracle can only use it. So we did pick up one piece of armor for somebody, but I don't know what class it was for. So, or maybe we picked up we might have picked up an item. That would be nice too if it showed like we definitely picked up an item, but I think it was like a usable item. So we'll see inside the game. It would be nice to see your inventory too, at different screens. So the point of the hunt mission: track down the target and eliminate it if needed. So we have to unlock the tracks. So the tracks are usually like towers. So that's the first track, which is slightly annoying. Like this isn't a track, right? No, that's not a track. So we're just gonna try. I'm gonna try and sneak around like as many enemies as possible. Like I'm hoping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to get into a fight with both of these at the same time. So I'm just gonna try to aggro this guy and see if we can clear a path. If it clears a path. So maybe. Yeah, so maybe the inventory sticks too. So we must have picked up some of these items either in a previous game or in a different one. But basically, like this spur tablet for 5 turns at the end of each turn. Hero has 25% to gain 24% speed. Restores 25% of hero's CP. Decreases the damage of incoming attacks by 10%. That was one thing I noticed about the armor too. Like none of your armor actually protects you from damage. That was a big hit. Like all the armor does is like it usually gives you like it pluses like your strength or agility or intelligence, but it doesn't actually have any. As much as I noticed, it didn't have any like damage reduction. So hopefully this thing doesn't hit us again. Of course. I'm just gonna go ahead and heal this guy a little bit. So this will be interesting too if I can sneak by. A bunch of characters just went up levels. So it'll be interesting if I can sneak through here without, and I think I can. It looks like I can. As long as you don't stop on a hex, it looks like. Also worth noting when my characters just went up levels. Like, so where do we want to go? We want to get over to here. So we're probably going to have to fight this group here. But like my theory so far has been in the game is don't take fights that you don't really need to. The levels get pretty lengthy. So we're just going to line up here. Get my other players up. And drop this Vendom. So these things are typically shooters, these Ludums, these like Venus flytrap things. So I'm just going to drop it on him. Because the other creature will probably... What am I aggroing here? Am I aggroing this thing? So we're just going to try to keep back range and try not to aggro that. But obviously we have to get in a fight with the alien group over here. See, I didn't want to do that. I didn't actually want to do the hunt mission because the hunt mission is, they're generally a bit longer. Which isn't like a huge deal or anything. It's just, you know, like I said, for the sake of time, I didn't really get into a huge thing. But I guess it's good to show the different kinds of missions. And so that the creature just applied whiplash, but I'm not totally sure what whiplash does because you don't see any. There's no icons over here for what whiplash actually is. What kind of like debuff or what the deal. This will probably take a while, but like I said, like when you start to unlock more weapons, and you can start actually like applying. That little critter's right back here. When you can start applying skills. Your characters do get quite a bit stronger. So like it really doesn't take as much time. And what I noticed too, like in my other playthrough, was the higher my characters were, I started getting like crits like a lot. So it looks like these nodes are for these guys. So we're just going to try to dash through here and dash around. Because I will have to probably fight these things at some point. I just don't want to get into a fight with anything that I don't have to, really. I'm going to have this over here. I just want to get all my players over here so I don't have to make any. But this should be good. So we're just going to drop it on this thing again and try to finish the range. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go full steam and just get right up on there because the breaker's ability is actually like super strong. The breaker also, in our case, has the most HP. I'll go for a heal on this one, but I'm gonna keep my other characters back. But I'm pretty sure I can just kill. Yeah, because see, this smash does like 43. The artisans do have some really, really nice skills later in the game. One of the that you probably won't see, but one of the skills that the artisan has, which is basically like your medic, has a really cool like healing / poison cloud effect that actually doesn't. It's like kind of it's invisible. Like the cloud itself, but when things come in and out of it, there's text that comes up that says, I forget what it's called. It's called like nanite cloud or something. Exterminate complete. Basically kill 4 Armadons, get 1200 credits. So I guess like a lot of things do carry over in the games. We're just gonna leave these guys back here to heal. So this is one of the tracks. So now I basically, tracks discovered, 1 of 3. Now we have to go over there. And I think we can just fight this one. And probably... We probably can sneak in and sneak out, I'm hoping. You know, like the running too, like their running kind of bothered me at first too. Like the characters running, it seemed a little bit crazy. I think they could smooth that out. But you know, like it doesn't bother me that there's no like XCOM style like cover system or anything. I kind of like just how it is just simple, you know, stand and fight basically. And I do like, I think the weapons and stuff later as you get into the game, like I think the various melee and ranged weapons are actually pretty cool. You'll probably be able to see some of them after this mission because we'll be able to go to a settlement. We'll be able to level up, you know, talk about that, talk about the shop, and like see some of the different items and stuff. Because we have, as far as like money goes, we have a really good amount of money because the quests and the money carry over. So I'm pretty sure kind of like, ooh, that's a dangerous node. I wonder if I can step in and step out of it without pulling the aggro. But just in case, I'm going to bring my guys up here. Nope. We got the aggro. What's really crazy, too, is like the... but we can definitely get that one, I think, without... Maybe. I'm not sure. These creatures, like these Venus flytrap range things, they can shoot so far across the map. We'll just kill these guys off real fast. But like I was saying, when we go to the settlement, you can see a lot of like the level up, the interface and stuff like that, and then like the way the shop is set up, and then where you can get the missions. Actually, like the settlement too bothers me a lot. There's a lot of things in the game that bother me, obviously, but you know, I'm just gonna keep reiterating. I think there's a good foundation for a solid game here. You know, like I don't mind. There's a lot of little things I can get past, as long as you bring a solid game. But you know, like I said, I mean, there's big issues here that like pull you out of the immersion. You know what I mean? Just like even with the characters not even holding the weapons. You know, like that's huge. You know. For me, anyway, because it's just like there's little details need to be ironed out for sure. You know, and like the sound effects with the attack. Just to reiterate what I was saying before, they definitely need sound effects to be worked on. You know, because like all you need is like that gun pop. All you need is that shot. Because the skills are all really nice. To look at too. Boy, that guy can move far. I think these artisans, yeah, they can move. I think in this case my breaker is, or maybe this was that. Oh, that's my oracle up there. I usually think of the oracle as like kind of my ranged like sniper class that I usually pull aggro with. Oh my gosh, so it's right on one of those hexes. So I'll have to take this fight too. I'm just gonna drop my drone over there. I was really hoping that I didn't have to take another fight, but not a big deal. I like that skill too. It's really nice. Definitely gotta move. I'm probably just gonna run up in there with this guy. The breaker's other ability that I'm never using is like it's like a speed boost. I'm pretty sure, but like the way that like the buffs and stuff work is like they have to be in a certain area of the other player or where the buff was actually set off. So like it's really easy to move in and out of the buff zones, from what I can tell. But it would be nicer if there was like a more of a visual indicator. Like there's not a lot of visual indication of where the zones for like the buff actually are, like physically are in relation to your characters. So Like that could be something that I think could be really useful too. And I'll use one of the buffs before the end of this match, just so you can see kind of like what I'm talking about. So this is the Klompin shop appears. So this isn't a chest. This is actually a shop. Like that's just completely random. So here's the one buff. So grants a buff to the breaker and all allies within 3 hexes for the next 2 turns. Oh, so this one just gets applied. There's no cloud. Those under its effects have damage received reduction by 50%. Initiative reduced by 20%. Cannot be moved by attacks or abilities that cause the effect or stun. So actually pretty good armor ability. I'll just go ahead and use it. So you can see. So it just says the nerves of steel applied. But see, there's nothing like... The thing that bothers me is that there's nothing for my character. So this character obviously doesn't have it. But... like, these characters all have it. So see, there's... So see, like, for this... There's no... There should be, like, something over here that says, like, what buffs are applied or what negations are applied to the character. At least in what I should think should be done, you know. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Alfred uses Venom delivery on 1, 2, -3. Oh, that must be like the coordinate. Yeah, so basically I'll just jump over the shop here. And it'll take us out. So the chest and the shops are obviously like a little bit different. It'll just jump you right out to go to the Klompin shop. I'm not really sure like what language that comes from. But here is the Klompin shop. Like I like this back here. I wish you could see it a little bit better. But basically, so like you click on a character, or actually, so in this case, he only has these 2 items for melee, and they're both for the artisan. And I'm gonna definitely take this kite tail. This is different from some of the weapons that I got before, although it looks similar. These 2 look very similar. But they do look different from the fiberglass bayonet. And the fiberglass bayonet even looks like a sword, which is kind of funny. But well, let's just see what they have. So then they have... Oh, I like that shrapnel. Wow, this is cool. This 5th generation. I'm definitely going to get that. So I'm definitely buying the 5th generation and the Olympiad. I thought typically like the breaker only threw grenades, but I guess they can use the grenade launcher too. I'll take the Olympiad. And I think I'm just going to take both melee. I mean, this is only $40, so I'm just going to buy it. And I will take both melee weapons. Head, so the other helmet, I'll buy both of these. The other helmet that I found in the game, I'll take this. They didn't actually have any models that went on the character. I'll take both of these. So these are just belts, and you can see. So like I was kind of clicking through that stuff fast, but basically everything, it just gives stat buffs to your attributes. So like this is the artisan. You know, goes up. This is like intelligence, I'm pretty sure. This is agility. So I don't really want... I'll use the CP generation for the breaker, and I'll just take this for the artisan. I'll He'll take the socks. And they don't have anything else. So the one thing that I would like in this, in like the shops menu, is to be able to actually like equip the items that you bought. Because like I would like to be able to just sell right from here, to sell the stuff, the items that I didn't think were very good, or the items that I'm going to replace. You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to carry them around. And obviously, like, it's easy to do in the settlement, which is where I'm going. But so we're going to Vernay. Time for some R&R. Regroup with your from your hard-fought battles. The settlement here, you can level up, purchase new equipment, and more. And more just means those side missions, which you can basically equip as many side missions as you want, and then they're like all tracker missions. So you just complete them as you play the game. You don't really have to do anything. Yeah, this is more story stuff about humans and aliens, which I'll let you enjoy yourself. It is good. It is a decent story. I don't mind it because like the whole idea that humans destroy their own world is probably pretty realistic. So the one thing you want to do first is you always want to come to the commons and just grab all the missions you can. This also, like, beast, there is no bestiary yet, and I'm just assuming that's like, so there's no quests available, but I have all these in progress. So but basically, like, here's some of the missions. Take a look, y'all. I need you to wipe out 5 Malagets and 4 bloatings. You know, it's basically just killing stuff until these 5 nanite generate charges. So this is basically saying, like, heal 5 times in one match. This is saying make a party with no artisans in it. Use resources. You know, just basic point and click stuff. This homeworld, though, this settlement reminds me like so much of Area 51 graphics for like the I don't know if anybody remembers the arcade with like the pistol and stuff, but like this is, dude, this is like Area 51 right here. Like this is the graphics of Area 51. And honestly, like it doesn't even, you know what they should do is like just get rid of this stuff. Let me talk about it I'll talk about it a little later, but this is your level up. This is where you can level up. You can also recruit other heroes here if you don't have a full roster already, because I'm just gonna heal squad too for 100. But this is where you can go through and do your gear. So I'm definitely gonna equip this 5th generation. A deadly modded game console. Explodes any target into 32 bits. That's funny. It's a PlayStation. What else did I get? Oh, I just got the waist. So I don't think the waist will change anything. Definitely gonna take the Olympiad. Yeah. So this the helmets don't flip anything. The iron gloves though, see, like these will change. And these socks will change too. So all the body and appendage, minus the head, like they'll all change your character's look, which is something I always really like. Yeah, see, this is crazy that this is the fiberglass bayonet. Oh, well, I guess the bayonet, I don't know why I was thinking of something else. The bayonet is a knife, but this is a giant bayonet. So which one has more strength? So whichever one has more strength, I'm going to give them the stronger blade, because they'll just do more damage with it. And so this is the model for that, and it's the same as the tin whisker, but who has better range? Oh, they have the same range. I'll give this guy the better range weapon though, the yellow super soaker. I also give her the tin whisker. Who has? I'll just give this person the more health. I'm just gonna give like the lower of the two, whichever. so she can have the art plus to the artisan node. And then butterfly tights. Butterfly tights look really cool. Obviously they don't. Super generic. Yeah, so I have all my stuff equipped now. So it's nice, like it's nice that they have, you know, different outfits and the things actually do change. Big thing they gotta fix. They gotta fix the weapons. Holding the weapons and such. Oh, I messed up. So we'll just jump back in here real quick. Because we need to do the levels. Typically for my breaker, I'm just gonna pump up strength. So he has 6 points. So I'm just gonna go to 45, and then I'm gonna put 2 points. I'm gonna put a point on health and a point on I'm just gonna put 2 points on health and then 4 on strength. There's no more abilities he has to learn. Oh, I messed that up. So once I lock in, you just lock in that with confirm. And there's no abilities. The Oracle has a new ability there. And I'm probably just gonna pump up the Artisan by 2, and then probably the agility, because my ranged weapon is obviously a lot better. But I'm gonna try to leave most of the tank and damage dealing to the breaker. So I'm just gonna buff up agility, which is basically the ranged attacks. Primary driver for weapon accuracy and ranged weapon damage. So we'll just lock that in. And we learned the other ability. So this was an ability too for the artisan. But with the artisan, I'm just gonna put into artisan-tisness, whatever it is. Grants the target delusions of grandeur, increasing their damage by 10%, but increasing damage received by 20% for the next 5 turns. I don't think that's super good. Because yes, it does make you better. Well, I mean, I guess it's not bad. So it's just a single target. So you probably could give it to guys who aren't actually taking damage, and then it would actually be pretty good. So I guess it's not as bad. It's just typically things that give plus to one area and a greater minus to another one, in my mind, aren't particularly all that good, because all somebody has to do is change the direction of attacks, and like then you're done. Then you're just going to take a whole bunch of damage. So now we can go back to this Area 51 menu. And then I'm just going to hit up the shop real quick. So I'll probably take these hashtags. It seems very good. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's literally a hat. Your face is trending. It's literally like brass knuckles, but a hashtag. Yeah, sure, whatever. The King's Burst. I mean, honestly, like the Breaker, is if you get him a good weapon, it will like just destroy stuff for you. So I could give this guy this thing, but his range, the Olympiad is actually just, well, it's just under the King's Brat. I would actually like to buy this taser pistol for one of my artisans. I like how this is $200 though. Wow, they have a lot of stuff in here. Like, I definitely don't want this pistol. See, but like in here, you know what I'm gonna have to do right now too, is I'm just gonna take this taser. What I have to do here is I have to go back out of the shop, to go back into training, So maybe you're supposed to go to the shop next and then go to training, do all that stuff, but then you still have to go back to the shop. So like that's just super annoying. That's kind of cool. That almost makes it look a little bit better, but obviously it would still, you can tell like there's a glove there. I need this range. So we'll equip the teaser and then go back. We don't have any more money, but we'll go back to the shop and then sell the stuff we don't need. I personally, let's just sell the stuff and then I'll talk about what I don't like. We shouldn't have anything else. We could sell other items, but we don't really care. Okay, so for like this settlement, I don't even think you should have this push-up on the doors. You know what I mean? Where like I click on training and it pushes up to the door. And then it has that small loading screen and then this. I really think that you should just keep it here. And then like when you click on, you could click on the name or whatever and make this more, you know, up front or whatever. Like click on the thing and then just have it pop up, like have the menu pop up here. And if like you really wanted the picture, these pictures that were in here, you could just have this in like somewhere, like, you know, have this down in the corner and then have this picture like this surrounding in a small thing here. So it's like then you get just a window into the actual space, you know. But like going in and out of these little, like through these little loading screens and into the areas, and especially when like your graphics and stuff I think look like this, it's like, yo, just leave this there, skip that push in push out, skip the little loading screens, and just bring everything up on screen right here, because it just doesn't, you know, it's too time consuming to go through here that for real. You know. Here's survive. I just want to play one more mission like with the stuff that I got. Oh my gosh, I'm already an hour into this already. I'll just do this survive and then I'll just do this survive and then just say, I mean, like, I feel like people watching the video, you're gonna make a lot of your assumptions already within the hour. Sorry for saying so much. The survive, this is the survive mission, survive the waves of enemies that come through the portals. Basically, you just have to kind of like locate where the portal is. Oh, this map is super small. This is like perfect. Where is the portal? I didn't even see it. I've also only had the game crash one time. And not crash. Oh, I didn't even see the portal over there. So now you're gonna see a lot more damage. See, so like my Vendom, I could also use that too. I'm gonna move out here, use my Street Busker, and then everybody's gonna be like a lot stronger. So here's one of my artisans who's right up, so 46 to 56. You know, we're just gonna go ahead and start smacking. And so now like the creatures are gonna go down like a lot faster than they did previously. But yeah, I think like I was gonna say, see, like look at the smash. Now the smash is 80 to 104. That's so good. Well, I really like this. I want to move back here. See, like look, they got the gun looking pretty good. I'm just gonna come up here and shoot it. It's probably the same. Yeah, see, that's so annoying that it's just the same melee shots. Like that's the big thing for me with this game is like there's just so many little things, and now you've put it into early access, and like I think people, I just don't think like, I think $15 for a game like this is a lot to ask when there's games that are like $15 that are done and finished You know what I mean? Like this game needs a lot of work, or it needs to have a lot more. Oh, somebody just went up a level. You know, at the later stages of the game. You know, it's just they're just missing a lot of little stuff. I think the foundation is really good and the story is really good, and you know, I like the personalization and the weapons that you have. It's just, you know, like I said, like the foundation is there. There's just a lot of little stuff, and I think if you want this game to succeed, I think you definitely need to like now that you've released it to early access, you need to start pumping out the patches and the updates to get things where they need to be. And like I said, like as far as like the run goes, you know, you need to kind of serve up the content. Boom. Hashtag your face is trending. You know, but there's so many little things. I mean, you can go through the video and pick out all the little stuff I said. You know, but there, like I said, there's like the thing is there's a lot of stuff right. There's a lot of stuff that's good where it is, or like at least like it's on the right track. There's just a lot more to do, you know. Ooh, more butterfly tights. There's just a lot more to do with this game. And like I said, I don't even, like, if anybody makes it this far, I don't even really think that this game is worth $14.99 as it sits. Like, I know you need money to fund your game and stuff, but you know, where it sits, this should be like $5. And then you should have like, and you should look for funding elsewhere, you know. But like I said, for 15 bucks, you're gonna get 4 or 5 hours worth of gameplay and then be done. Then that's it. And I don't think that's worth $15. When this here is gonna be your last mission, and then all like your heroes that you have just retire, and you can start the playthrough again. And there's no reason really to play through again at this point, unless you really wanted to try to create a party with all of one type of character or not, you know. But it's like once you play it once and die and realize this is the party members that you need, this is just the way it is, you know. So definitely a cool game, and definitely they definitely got a lot of work in front of them. I guess this is the developer is what is their name? Poorly Timed Games. I guess this is a new developing company, and this is their first game. This is what I heard. But yeah, you definitely got your work cut out for you. Let me know what you thought of the game down in the comment section below. And I don't know. Do you think it's gonna succeed or fail? I would personally like to see it succeed, and I would like to see more content. I'd like to see more runs. You know, I'd like to see more classes. I'd like to see more of everything from here. Definitely a great foundation, but a lot of work to be done. I probably said that 100 times, and I'm sorry. With that, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.